This call is now being recorded.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So now we're official. Mario.
I love that it tells you this call is now being recorded. It's like so legal. It's so governmental and legal.
It's actually Ms. Google Voice that just recorded that, so that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So you're an AC regular. You come up pretty often. So
I do come up often. Yeah, I love it. You know, it's.
What's it like for you? Yeah.
Well, the first time I played AC, I thought, I was, I'm petrified as usual anyway. But no matter where I'm playing, but I just didn't know how it was going to go. But it went so incredibly well the first time. I just thought, and then afterwards I thought about it. And well, this is what I do lends itself to very old school Vegas and Atlantic City. You know, I've got a band. I do an opening number. I do my stand up. I do impressions. I talk about pop culture. I do musical impressions and other tunes in between the stand up. So it's very musical. It's very, it's very old school. It's Jon Stewart told me I was the white Sammy Davis Jr. So I said, well, that's a great compliment. Thank you. But yeah, it's whether you like it or not, and I don't think anybody really does what I do.
Right.
Anymore.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. That you do comedy, but you're not a stand-up. You're not exactly a singer. I mean, it's like a one-man show kind of thing.
Yeah. But I am a singer and I am a stand-up comic, and I just combine the two.
Right. But you're not. Most people think of these things as being exclusive and not so much being combined. Yeah.
You're right. I know what you're saying. I'm not a singer, and I'm not. Yeah, you're right. I guess what we both just said was right. I'm sorry I corrected you, Rob.
Should we say kumbaya and hold hands across the phone line?
We're okay now. It's okay.
It's all beautiful.
We agreed to disagree, and then we agreed.
But really, you're right, because I'm interviewing you, so I yield to you. You know what you do better than I do. So.
Well, maybe. I probably do know what I do better than most people do, because no one knows what I do.
So now, is material? Are you working towards another one-man show?
Yeah,
I am.
I am. Mm-hmm. I'm working on it. I mean, it needs work. I think. I had last year. I kind of had the show, and then as time goes on, you just kind of lose some material and rework it. So I'm still reworking some of it. I would say I have 80% of it, but I just try to work on other stuff and let go of some stuff that I'm bored with, even though, or I don't feel great about, there's certain things in it that I'm like, I'm going to get rid of that. And every time I do the show, the last show I did was in West Hampton, and it was an hour and 40 minutes. I'm like, if I lose 10 minutes, I just need 90 minutes. That's what I need. And I kind of over that. So, but I still want to kind of shape some stuff. But
does it have a working title? Does it have a title right now?
It's called, it does have a working title. It's called Mario Cantone Swings Both Ways.
Uh-huh.
And it's just, and I've got, I'm trying to, right now I have a 4-piece band, but I'm trying to, for Broadway, hopefully I'm going to add some brass in it so it does swing a little bit more musically. So, and then I'll, give somebody cunnilingus too, just to prove that I swing both ways. But I actually don't. And that's the last thing I'd be doing.
Okay, family newspaper. Let's move on from that one.
It's a family newspaper. Oh, okay, sorry.
Well, that's a big family anyway.
Well, every time I hear that word now, I think of Michael Douglas. It's my new favorite thing.
Yeah, that was in the TMI category. That's number one for me right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you though, since this is a family show, I won't get into it. But go ahead.
So, I just want to go back to Atlantic City for a second. I'm just curious. Do you think that it's changed over the years? Has it gotten more? Is it more gay friendly? Like, how do you perceive the town itself as far as when you pop in for these visits?
Well, the first time I played it was, I don't know when it was. I guess it was. I think it was like 2005. It felt pretty okay then for me. When you have, most of my audience, a lot of my audience is straight anyway. I would say.
Right.
I would say 75. They come to see me. I don't know about what's out there in the Ethernet, But the people that come to see me, it's more straight people than gay people. And so, when you got these big high rollers in the front row jumping up at you and wanting to shake your hand, that's pretty great. It's fun. I love the feel of Atlantic City when I'm on stage. I just do. It like I said, it's a throwback, and it's a lot of fun. It is. So, but I don't know what it was like before 2005 because I hadn't played it yet.
Right.
I know I had played Vegas in the 80s, which felt a little strange.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, look, the president has spoken, and now it's kind of I feel like, well, even before that, but the country's shifting. I never thought I'd live to say it either. I really didn't. I mean, there's still no change. There still needs to be more shifting, but it's definitely shifted. It's amazing what's going on now. It really is. So, but my act is, I don't talk about my marriage. I don't talk about my past relationships. I don't talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't know, you're an idiot. But I don't talk about it too much. I don't really, I don't really that much. Because it's like being a fat comedian and just doing fat jokes. I just never did that.
Right. And so, do people find you? Is it Sex and the City still that's the reference point for a lot of people, or is other screen roles, or how do people know who you are?
I think they know from Sex and the City, and they know from The View.
Right.
That's how they know, and some Comedy Central stuff, and if people are Broadway savvy, they know my Broadway stuff. But because I've done 5 Broadway shows, and the last one was the one-man show. But I think it's mostly Sex and the City, which I don't talk about either.
Mm-hmm.
Because what am I supposed to talk about?
Right.
That was me.
Pretty great for your career. That was pretty great for your career, though, in terms of what it meant.
It certainly was. It made me international. I can go to Europe and people go, "What?" I go to Paris and London. It's crazy. It's crazy there. I haven't been to Argentina yet. I heard it's crazy there too for the Sex and the City fans. I heard it's crazy. Yeah, it's all over the world. I watched it in German once, and it just sounded like this German romp. It was just this kind of German sex romp. It sounded like it was so bizarre to watch it in German. I like seeing myself in other languages and see who they choose to pick, pick to dub my role. It's really interesting.
Yeah, I know in Italy they use a lot of actors. They mostly dub voices. They don't like subtitles. And I have Italian friends who they're upset when they see the real actor speaking because they think it should sound like the dubbing actor. Because the dubbing actors get famous there too, and they know their voices, and they don't understand why Robert Redford doesn't sound like Mario somebody in Italy or something like that.
I know. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, it's strange. Most of them dub it.
Do people think? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I'm finished.
Oh, do people think that you're the character in Sex and the City? Do they confuse you with the role, or you're?
Yeah, look, there's a lot of people that are really true fans that know my stand-up, know me from The View, and know Sex and the City, and that to me that's great. But then there's people that are just so excited that you're from this phenomenon that was part of American pop culture. And they just freak out. And sometimes they call me by my character name, which is fine because it's my middle name, Anthony.
Right.
But they don't really know. I always tell people, if you just know me from Sex and the City, you don't really know what I do. You have no idea what I do. So that's it's a frustration, but it also was something that completely boosted up my visibility, and my IQ and whatever the hell else you want to call it.
And yeah, it's that side, that character, so quippy and funny, but that's just one element, obviously, what you are. So that's unique.
Yeah,
people don't know.
They don't. Yeah. They don't. If you've seen me on stage for an hour or more, then you would know what I do really. Yeah, I think that's just a small part of it. It's just, and also, it's Sex and the City. It's that role for me was obviously, I only did 12 episodes.
Right.
But I got to do both movies, which was great. Because the lucky thing about that for me was too is that if you're not having sex with one of those girls in the storyline, there's no room for you if you're a guy.
Right.
So, and there was already a gay character on it. So when I came on in the third season, doing just one episode, I was really lucky and very happy that I got to come back and continue doing, the role over. And it was just a couple of times a season.
Right.
But it just was so popular that I got to do the movies. So that was pretty.
Right.
That was pretty big too.
Yeah. I was curious to see in your that you started off your career doing a children's show.
Yeah, I did. Steampipe Alley, and people from New Jersey, if they're from there and they were around in the '80s, they really knew what it was. It had a big adult audience.
Yeah.
Because we did some very crazy, sick things on there that we got away with. So yeah, was
that a good testing ground, or did you say never again work
with children?
It
was great because I look back on it, and 52% of our audience was like, in their 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
It was bizarre, and I had one writer on there, Judy Kachka, and she wrote a lot of the sketches, and I, threw my ideas in there and did some writing, and it was like a sketch comedy show for kids. I got to play all these different characters. It was musical and filthy and ridiculous, and I can't believe we got away with what we got away with. So, because the target audience was like 8 to 15, and
right.
then we just they wanted a Soupy Sales type show, which worked on an adult level and a children's level. So that's what they really wanted, and that's what they got.
Yeah, it sounds like it helps to lay the groundwork for a lot of the stuff you do now.
It did, but it was also probably one of the most creatively freeing things I ever got to do in my career. We got to do a lot of crazy stuff. I mean, we had to keep it clean, of course, but we had to anyway because it was television. It was just, we had games and then sketches, and it was just crazy. We had games like Find Sammy Davis Jr.'s Eye in the Pie. We had the Mommy Dearest Obstacle Course. We did sketches like Raging Pan, which was Scorsese's Peter Pan, with De Niro as Peter Pan. I mean, it was just so stupid. It was so crazy. I can't believe we got away with it. I really don't. I would make out with puppets. It was sick.
That sounds original. That's okay.
It was original.
Yeah,
and you can see some of it on YouTube, but they taped over a lot of the masters. They're gone.
Oh, right, yeah. So tell me, what's next for you in terms of, are you doing these dates and then you're working towards the one-man show?
Yeah, I'm just doing some dates, exactly, and I'm working towards the one-man show. I've got like 3 other things that I'm working on, but I don't like to talk about them because then when they don't happen, you just look like an ass. So I don't even talk about it. But there's a few things that are kind of major that are happening, and one of them being the one-man show. So that I'm excited about because I love doing theater, I love doing Broadway, and I would like to get back there.
You think next year? Or?
Yeah, hopefully like the fall or spring, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's when probably the spring at this point. But that would be just fine because I'm getting old, and you do 8 shows a week, and it's exhausting. It's life-sucking, let me tell you. It's intense. And it's all you worry about is your voice, because you got to sing, too. But I loved it. I had a great time doing the first one. It was thrilling.
All right, Mario. Well,
all right, buddy.
Everything on my list, so thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
All right, take it easy.
I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.